Hello, welcome. This is Take What Rings True. My name is Teresa Micheletti, and if you believe everything I say, that's great. But if you don't, then just let it drop away. Take what rings true to you and let the rest go. I want to talk today about spiritual tools and tools for protection. I went to years of classes with spirit guides, Francine and Rahim, where they would give us spiritual information. And Sylvia Brown was the trance channel. So she would go sit on a bench on the other side, and guides would give us information. So I believe that we come into life to experience, and we come up against obstacles in life, and we choose how we want to react to them. But sometimes we get caught up in so much negativity and negative feelings that you can't even think. When we are on the other side, we chart what we want to do in this lifetime. And then when we come into life, the veil comes up, and all of a sudden you can't remember all the tools that you have available to you, the etheric tools, the ones that you can just think of mentally, and then they're enacted. So today I'm going to talk about some things that may make your life easier. Take the ones that work for you and let the rest go. Some of my favorite tools, angels. Call on angels. There are so many angels. As I say, unemployed angels. They're waiting for you to give them permission to help you. They're waiting for you to give them permission to heal you. They're waiting for you to give them permission to help you with adversities in life. If you're going into a court case or you're having a difficult time at work, call on the angels and give them specific directions about what kind of help you want. Don't just say, help me. Help you what? Another favorite of mine is to use the mantle of God. I believe there's a mother god and a father god. And the mother goddess wears like a mantle, like a cloak with a hood. So when I enter a room or I'm going to talk somewhere, I ask for the mother goddess's mantle to drop, like from the ceiling all the way to the floor. And as it comes down, it neutralizes any negativity. So any negative emotions in the room, any negative energy in the room. So it's kind of a clearing the room. Another thing you can use to clear the room is to ask the angels to clear it, because they can clear energy. We are all energy, which is why we can use energy to do things in life. We're also little sparks of God, so we are creators. We can create our own tools. So let me talk about the energy frequencies of the lights. You know how different frequency, if you took physics, different frequencies create different lights, or the other way around. Different lights are different frequencies. So the energy frequency for protection is white light, which is a combination of all colors. If you want to think about higher consciousness and knowledge, then you would call on golden light. And you just visualize it in your mind or say it out loud that you want golden light around you, or you want a bubble of golden light around you. Or you can send it to someone else, because you can use these tools to help other people also. Purple light. Purple light is for high spirituality. So if you're trying to be more spiritual, you can ask for purple light to be around you. It's also for correct thinking. So if someone you think is lying, or someone is not being truthful, you're going to a court case, or you're dealing with a little kid who's, did he break the jar or did somebody else break the jar? Put purple light around them. Just envision a purple sash, envision a purple light, envision a purple bubble, envision a purple sash across their mouth, whatever you want. But The purple is the frequency of energy you're thinking of. Sky blue is for tranquility. When you see that little kid in the store that's crying and yelling, it's probably because they're overwhelmed with so many people and so much going on that they can't calm down. Sky blue is the color for calmness and tranquility. Call on emerald green if you want healing, or if you're trying to send healing to someone. Think of sending a bubble of emerald green light to someone who's ill. Pink light is the frequency for love. I envision it almost like a silicone, like a pretty pink silicone that I send out and surround people with. There's also a silver blue light, which is like an impervious metal. So you can think of, I want to surround myself with a silver blue light, which is like a cocoon of impervious metal, meaning that negativity doesn't get to you. So you are a creator. You can create your own tools. I know one of the groups on Facebook created Wonder Woman's lasso of truth. So you think of putting Wonder Woman's lasso around someone and have them be more likely to tell the truth. Think of armor, classic tools. If you think of God having a shield, you can ask for that shield to be around you and adapt the tools. Rahim, one of Sylvia's guides, would say that he made his shield more like little kids draw sun. You know, when you draw the sun, it's all zigzag, 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 zigzag. That's what his shield was like. It had lots of points on it, and it was big. So think of a shield being in front of you to protect you, or you can put it behind you to protect you behind you. Think of a sword that cuts through negativity, a golden sword. Think of the mother goddess giving you a golden sword, and it can be from the top of your head to the tips of your toes, protecting you. You can also have the mother goddess stand there. So obviously, she's not going to be there in physical form. She will be there in ethereal form. So you cannot call on too many angels. You cannot call on your spirit guide too much. You cannot call on God too much. So call on them. That doesn't mean that you're not going to learn your lessons. What's that story about someone praying for food and they wanted bread? So they're praying for food, they're praying for food, they're praying for food, and someone comes and offers them food, but it's not the food that they asked for. So they are complaining to God that they didn't get their request. Well, yes, they did. God sent them food. So remember when you're praying to pay attention to the answers that you get. Sometimes it's not the exact answer that you wanted, but it's an answer. My favorite tool is a blue flame bubble. If you look at a candle, the flame of the bubble has a little white blue spot on it, and that's the hottest part of the flame. We were told by Rahim that the blue flame will neutralize negativity. So if you have negativity within you, or you have negativity coming towards you for some reason, maybe somebody's jealous of you and they're sending you negative thoughts, not intentionally, but they're sending you negative thoughts. We're energy, and we're in an energy environment, and that energy can come to you. So I like the blue flame bubble because it surrounds me. I also have the bubble go within me to neutralize negativity. But I like the idea of negativity coming towards me, and then it hits the bubble and it's neutralized. The negativity just drops away. Whereas another tool you can use is a lead encasement. And lead, obviously, is a very strong metal. They use it in X-rays. So if you think of the lead encasement, and we were told to put like a column around us of lead, And then on the outside of that, put mirrors facing out. The mirrors reflect back whatever somebody's sending, and the lead encasement stops the negativity. I remember talking about that to Sylvia, and I said, I'd rather have a bubble like Glinda in The Wizard of Oz, because I want to be closed at the top and closed at the bottom so nothing can get in. And I know that she talked about that later, the Bubble of Glinda. So think of a bubble of white blue flame, this blue flame bubble around you. And you can send it to someone else too. Put a blue bubble around all of your family. Put a blue bubble around all of your friends. You also have a totem animal that came into life with you. You don't have to know what it is, but if you want to know what it is, you can do a meditation and think of a whiteboard or a blackboard and have the title of the word written across. If you're not a visual person, then have a knowing come to you, or have just the vision of it in your mind's eye. Another tool is to shut out negativity. So if you're having bad dreams, number one, you can ask for angels to be around you every night, a circle of angels, and they'll help protect you from bad dreams coming. But you can also think of shutting out the negativity like a window or a door that you slam shut. So if the bad dreams are on the other side or the nightmares are on the other side, you can think of shutting it so that they don't come to you. You can also use this for children who are having bad dreams. Another thing to do is balance your emotion and intellect. If your emotion and intellect are out of balance, then you're out of whack. So ask every day to have your emotion and intellect in balance and cemented. A lot of times people who are mentally ill, it's because their emotions and intellect are off balance. Another thing you can do is tap your collarbone. That's K27. That's an energy point. And when you tap it, it can help to alleviate feeling sad. I know I was taking someone to a conference and we had to go a different way. And the person who was directing traffic had me go over a spike. So it slashed my tire and I was really upset. So I was crying. So I started doing my K27, just tapping it. And a lot of that just dropped away. So that's another tool to use. Not ethereal, it's actual physical tool. You can also use crystals, especially quartz crystals, to absorb negativity. If you're wearing crystals, that's great. But please make sure that you put them in sunlight to neutralize the negativity or put them in salt water to neutralize the negativity. I was wearing a really pretty pendant of clear quartz, and it had a little pink little ball on it. And I never neutralized it. And my little wonderful crystal pendant became just so many cracks in it that it was shattered. You can use God's columns of light. If you think of a column, this is not a round column, it's actually a triangular column. So if you think of a triangle and the triangle goes straight up, then that's the column of light, and it's platinum, like a platinum, the color of the metal that they use for a lot of times diamond rings that your great-grandmother or great-great-grandmother used to use. That was very popular in those days. A platinum column of light will neutralize negativity and protect you. You can put them in the corners of your room. You can put them on the sides of your door. Don't put them in the middle of your room, because if you keep doing it, it becomes more tangible and you can actually physically run into it. I like to put them in light columns. I like to put them in trees. So places that I travel, highways that I travel, or roads that I travel on, Most of the trees have columns of light in them, and so do the light fixtures, the light columns. The literal lights on the street, I have put light columns in. You can also put them in people. I may have told this story before. I was at a meeting with a bunch of people, like a TGIF, everybody meeting after work, and I wasn't talking for a while. So I was putting platinum columns in everyone in our group. And the next day, one of the people was in a new car, and he was literally run over by a city bus. And the city bus driver thought that he'd killed him because it crunched the car. But he had some minor scrapes and bruises, but he was okay. And later on, during trance class, Rahim was talking about someone using a platinum column, and it protected them from an accident. So he was giving me validation that, yes, the platinum column had protected my friend. Even though his car was crunched, he wasn't crunched. So that's good. That's a good tool to use. If you put them on really negative people, I would do it from afar, because when they have the platinum column in them, they react. You know, it's like for people who are not holding a lot of negativity, then it just drops away. For people who are negative all the time, what we might call dark entities, the absence of light, then they react to it not in a favorable way, although it does help calm them. And I always ask for the platinum column to be there for the rest of their lives. You can also call on a silver net. And if you think of that silver net as completely encasing you, like a shimmering net that's gossamer, guides tell us that from looking from the other side to us, that they can see like little Klingons on us. We have our aura, our electrical emanation, which needs to be cleared every day so that you don't have junk on it. So if you have these amoeba-like negative things clinging to your aura, then that's not a good thing. So mentally just blast yourselves with the silver netting or silver mesh often. So cleanse your aura with silver net. Another tool I like to use is being timeless. Since all time is God's now, then you can ask to be timeless. Say you have a bunch of things to do today and you need to get them done. Ask to be timeless. One time when I asked for this, it's like I got a whole extra hour. One time I was going to church, and it took like an hour and 10 minutes to get there. However, I didn't have an hour and 10 minutes. I had 50 minutes. So not going above the speed limit, I still was able to get to church on time by being timeless. So just say, I'm being timeless, I'm living in the now, and see what you can get done. Little kids crying. Maybe I already talked about this. Put a sky blue light around them to help them be more tranquil. That kid who's upset in the grocery store, put some blue light around them. Okay. I talked about the mantle. I talked about the golden sword. Okay, ask for your aura to be strong, clear, and intact every day. If you have holes in your aura, your electrical emanation that's around you all the time, that's often when you get sick, because negativity can enter there. Let me give you some more information about some of the lights. If you're wearing colors, the clothing that you're wearing, if you're wearing light blue, It can be a cool color, and it can also be too calming. You may get depressed. Not really, but it wouldn't be a positive color. If you want to bring up your energy, wear orange, wear silver, wear purple. Purple's an uplifting color, so wear lavender, wear purple. Purple also helps with the endocrine system. So if you're using, you want to be higher in spirituality, or you want to protect someone, you can think of like putting a cloth or a paper that's purple over a picture of them, just to have the image and the idea that you're sending them that energy. We can use symbols, which is what that would be, putting a cloth over a picture or putting a paper over a picture that's that color. Silver light, not silver blue, but silver light you can use for dire straits or emergencies. Say you're going into court because you're having a custody battle. Call on the silver light. The silver light, or the silver curtain, calls on the Mother Goddess, her angels, and all available entities, all available positive entities. So one time I called on the silver light and I got centurions helping protect my computer, which was not working well. I got angels. I got lots of different entities helping me with the situation that I was in. If you call on red, it brings better circulation. If you're having trouble with circulation, I would wear red, like wear red pajamas, wear a red nightgown, because it helps to increase the blood flow. But it also brings emotion. So if you're going out on a hot day, you can wear red. But to wear red all the time during the day is not especially helpful, because it can bring emotions like anger or passion. One of my friends went to Europe and was visiting her relatives and wearing a red jacket all the time. And she was getting into arguments with her siblings. And I think it's because of the red jacket she was wearing all the time. Orange is also a healing color. You can call on orange for healing, for energy, for rejuvenation. What else? Talk to the divas. Since everything is energy, then objects have sentient energy. So talk to your computer, talk to your washing machine, talk to your vacuum cleaner. The more you appreciate things, the more they last. The more, you know how you have a favorite sweater, a favorite shirt. Often they'll last much longer than the ones that aren't your favorite, because you've put your energy into them by talking to the divas. I talk to the divas of my olive tree because I found out I'm highly allergic to olive tree leaves and bark. So I stopped pruning my olive tree and I asked for the tree to retract its energy until I could get somebody to take care of it, because I've tried to get my olive tree removed 3 times and it hasn't worked. So it stopped growing, which is helpful to me until I can figure out how to remove the olive tree. So I talked to the divas of my plants. We had a freezing spell. Everybody lost all their plants, or most of their plants. My plants were just fine and growing very well. Thank you very much. You can also ask to clear your chart. Excuse me. You have a chart that you wrote and you're supposed to interact with certain people. But you also have the hangers-on, the irritants, the people who don't need to be in your space and in your circle. So think of mentally drawing a circle around yourself and ask for anyone who's not in your life chart to drop away. That does not mean that you can't have lunch with them when you're going to a company picnic. It just means that they're not always calling you and complaining. I have one friend who reveled in her illness. It's my surgery, my bad leg, my scar tissue. And she'd tell you the same thing over and over and over and over again. And when I drew the circle, she dropped away. That didn't mean I never saw her or never interacted, but I stopped getting that every other day phone call about the same thing, the same thing, the same thing. Call on the divas of your bedroom. Call on the divas of your bed and your pillow and your blankets to help you to sleep better. You can also move time. So ask the divas to help you to have complete rest in, say, 4 hours. If you're working late and you only have 4 hours of sleep to get complete rest, then ask the divas to provide you with complete rest in 4 hours. A soul cry, we talked about that the other day. A soul cry or scream helps to get negative energy out. So we're not allowed to break off the dirt and the grunge from around us. We're told not to cry. So sometimes just go into a closet or while you're driving, scream at the top of your lungs or do it mentally in your head, which is what I usually do. And get rid of those feelings and those negative hangers on that are in your mind. The loops, we talked about this the other day. You have a loop of negativity. Okay, say my roommate's dog bit through my knee, and then she's blamed me for the dog biting my knee. So I kept playing that scene over and over and over and over again. So stop the loop. My friend Raheem would say to put a rubber band or an elastic elastic bracelet on your wrist and snap it and say, no, you're not going to repeat that. Or think of an audio playing in your forehead and think of ejecting that audio. You don't want that anymore. We talked about mirrors, but there's another use for a mirror. If someone mean is around you or disrespectful or rude, think of putting up a etheric mirror. Just think of mentally putting a mirror in front of them, facing them, so that they reflect back what they're thinking and what they're sending to you. If you're an empath and you're feeling everything from everyone, mentally put the blue flame bubble around you to neutralize the negativity, balance your emotion and intellect, and think of being the observer. That's a good thing for everyone to do. In your daily life, think of being the observer, not within your body, but think of being outside yourself in your glorified body, your spirit body, beyond your earthly body. And that helps to allow emotions and energy that's not yours to drop off and away. You can observe the people in your family fighting, but you don't have to be mentally and emotionally in the middle of it. Let it drop away. Okay. You can only hold one emotion at a time. So when you are feeling fearful or you're feeling sad, then think, okay, for this moment, I'm going to feel happy. I'm going to feel grateful. I'm going to feel joy. And then you're replacing that emotion. As my friend Sylvia would say, act as if. So since you can only hold one emotion at a time, choose love, not fear. So take the tools that you think you would like every day. And what I did was I wrote them down. These are the tools I want every day. And then give yourself a code. I use the word code blue, but you can use whatever you want. Some phrase to remember. And then when you say that, when I say code blue, all of the tools that I want are enacted. I don't have to go through each and every one of them. I don't have to balance my emotion and intellect, say. I don't have to say I want the blue flame around me. I don't have to say I want column of light around me. I don't have to say I want a mirror facing out so people sending negativity get reflected back what they're sending out to me. So, whatever your desired tools are, think of that list of tools and then give it a code name. And when I get up in the morning, I think I want code blue for myself. I want it for my family. I want it for my friends. And then they have that enacted for them also. So, thank you for joining me today. All right, I can actually see some comments, but I don't know who it is. Carol, does the circle have a color? The circle around the blue flame. Oh, the circle, I see. The circle around you is just a circle. You can think of it like a black line. Did you ever play tetherball when you were little? There's a circle around it. So just think of you standing in the middle and just think of drawing a circle, just a black line or whatever color you want. And think of everyone else who's not supposed to be there dropping away. Okay, to clear your chart. Yes. Thank you, Carol. How? So you draw a circle around you. It doesn't matter what color it is. It's just think of drawing a circle. And then ask for anyone who's not in your chart to drop away. Okie dokie. So any other questions, you can always put them in comments and I can answer them later. Be Live has a message on top of some people's comments, so I'll try to get to those later. So thank you for joining me. Wednesday, 10 o'clock Pacific Standard Time is when I'm doing Facebook Lives. So thanks for joining me, and I will see you next week. Bye.